film Titanic was directed by. The film is dated 1912, Titanic, on its maiden voyage, against the backdrop of the sinking of an iceberg. Then you know that in actual history, what was the real Titanic like? This precious image was taken in 1912. The actual record was recorded shortly before the accident, before the departure of the Titanic. A true image docked at Putney Pier on the south bank of England. We can see this huge cruise ship setting sail. Workers on board before departure, busy loading with elevator. The ship is divided into first class, second class, and third class. It also corresponds to the social hierarchy of passengers. There were well-dressed nobles and upper classes. There are also ordinary people in plain clothes. The top floor of the cruise ship is the wealthy area. They were sitting on chairs, talking and laughing. I have no idea that after 10 days, a great disaster will befall them. Now, on camera, a man dressed in white, Captain Edward John Smith. Smith was the most experienced captain in the world at that time, so the British rich, and only asked Smith to be the captain of their cruise ship. Smith was also nicknamed Captain Millionaire. He's left and right, looking at all the conditions around the ship. No problem found. And as you zoom out, you see the entire Titanic. According to the data, 269 meters in length, width up to 28 meters. He was an unprecedented Big Mac at the time. The ship also has 4 huge chimneys. 10 days later, the Titanic set off to collide with an iceberg, causing water to enter 5 watertight compartments. Just an hour and 40 minutes after the hull of the Titanic broke in two, sinking 3,700 meters to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. There were 2,224 passengers on board. 1,517 of them died in the disaster. Of these, only 333 bodies were recovered. That's it. The world's largest cruise ship started his first and the last voyage. Albert Einstein, born in Germany, great physicist. He pioneered 4 fields of physics in his lifetime: special relativity, general relativity, cosmology, and unified field theory. So have you ever seen a real image of Einstein? This video is recorded. A precious image of Einstein with his wife. The video was taken in 1931. The filming location is Warner Brothers Film and Television Base in the United States. Einstein and his wife, Elsa, ride a flying car, according to the data. Einstein never learned to drive a car. This time by invitation from Warner Brothers Studios. Let's fly a flying car. Make it experience the thrill of driving. Specially shot. The screen changes. An ancient car appears in front of the screen, and Einstein sat on it with his wife. At first glance, I thought it was our current amusement park. Then 2 people sat in a bumper car. I saw Einstein driving the car with the steering wheel in his hand. Mrs. Elsa sat next to her, and then the flying car took off. Start our sightseeing tour. They were driving down Broadway in Los Angeles. Then go to the beach, chatting and laughing with my wife along the way. Suddenly the car rose higher like an airplane. Soon, Einstein reached out a hand from the steering wheel, point to the landscape, motion for the lady to look over. And then you see the Rocky Mountains coming down below, when the wife was still nostalgic for the Rocky Mountains landscape. And Einstein subconsciously reaches back, holding the steering wheel, and they're driving along, waiting to see the scenery at the next stop. The lady also points out the beautiful scenery outside from time to time. Tell Einstein to watch. Einstein smiles, nod again and again, holding the steering wheel intently, driving his flying car. Apparently the lady is bold, content. Einstein was also a bit restrained and rigorous. It looks like a real car. Hold the steering wheel firmly. Watch the whole thing. We can't feel it, even with such outstanding scientific contributions. When confronted with fields he has never been exposed to, there is also curiosity and restraint. Play happily like a child. How do you eat? This precious video was taken in 1903 at the end of the Qing dynasty. Among them, a large family in Yonggui area was recorded. Precious images of a couple's meal. In ancient times, men had 3 wives and 4 concubines, but it's not hard to guess. Can eat at the same table as a man at the same time. The heroine, it should be the wife. You can be seen in the video. The man on the right sits dignified. The woman on the left is slightly curled up, slightly fat. You look like you can't lift your head, obviously. Not as generous as girls eat now. But this was determined by the male-dominated society at that time. At that time, the status of women is shorter than that of men. Look carefully. The woman's feet are also cushioned with a small stool, not like men's feet on the ground. This is due to the Qing dynasty. Women have a tradition of binding their feet, women, in the late Qing dynasty, in order to satisfy the aesthetics of men at that time. In order to marry a good family, it will wrap its feet into a 3-inch golden lotus. Although this aesthetic, in our opinion, I disagree, but it was a fact at the time. Look carefully, and they were different from us. It's just that the chopsticks they use look very long, much longer than the chopsticks we use now. It is also because the ancients were very particular about the size of chopsticks. Chopsticks in ancient times were generally 7 inches and 6 cents long, represent 7 emotions and 6 desires. Admonish people to know how to control their desires, to learn how to save food. So how long is 7 inches and 6 cents? It's about 27 centimeters now. So much for that. Let's get back to business. Let's see what they're eating. Observe carefully. They should be eating lunch now. The sun is just right, but look closely at their dining table. I scanned it all, but I didn't see any food. It's just that the 2 of them each put a cup of tea. Then there is the white rice in their hands. I saw them putting a few mouthfuls of white rice into their mouths. Just pick up the teacup and take a sip of tea. The man also says a few words to the woman from time to time. The woman was so shy and happy. It can be seen that at that time, even with such a large family, as long as you can eat such a crude meal, it's also really satisfying. Think about it. We are now the living conditions of ordinary people. It was way beyond them. It doesn't seem unfamiliar at all. He is a pioneer of the world martial arts revolution. Chinese martial arts film actor, kung fu movie star, martial arts guru. His movies are familiar. But have you ever seen real images of Bruce Lee's life? This video is from 1965. Bruce Lee, the real image of attending a Fox interview. The interview begins with a question and answer session. An interviewer asks Bruce Lee some questions. Facing this big scene, the average person will inevitably be nervous. Moreover, China's international national strength was not strong at that time. Chinese people are cautious overseas, but 24-year-old Bruce Lee is confident and elegant. High spirits. There is no humility in words and manners, especially when it comes to Chinese kung fu. It is full of confidence and pride. Answer in English throughout the course. Take it easy. reciprocal flow. The interviewer sees theoretical knowledge. Bruce Lee has answered flawlessly. Start the practical interview. I saw Bruce Lee walk a few steps to the empty performance venue. A suit. It's so imposing that the performance will start at that stop. Call the interviewer at the beginning. Let's be a rival model. I saw Bruce Lee explaining to the interviewer while flexing his lightning-fast sovereignty. A fist goes out. The interviewer was so scared that he backed away. Demonstrate the action over and over again. You have to make the interviewer stupid. Then you hastily explain to the interviewer. Remind him not to be afraid. Through these punches, we can clearly see. Often Bruce Lee's fist has been withdrawn. The interviewer dodges subconsciously against the model. Even if we adjust the screen to 0.5 times the speed, the action of throwing a fist is still an afterimage. You can see how fast he punches and closes his punches. After performing fist kung fu, kicking again. Explain to the interviewer on the other hand. Kung fu is not used solely on the body, which is the cooperation of the whole body. Here we go. Bruce Lee showed his fake moves again. Chinese kung fu pays attention to the combination of virtual and real. Fake moves are an important part of martial arts. As a master of Chinese kung fu, Bruce Lee also took his fake moves to the extreme and explained to the interviewer that kung fu training can be a pair of exercises. You can also be a person. When training, you can imitate birds and beasts, various animal poses. How? Watch the whole process. This doesn't sound like an interview, just like a master teaching an apprentice. They were called street performers back then. Remember this image? Recorded the late Qing dynasty in 1901. Some real footage of street performers juggling. A humble cushion. A small street is the venue for the little girl's performance. Surrounded by a group of big kids watching the show. The little girl performing looks like she is around 8 years old. She is starting her performance. He looked skinny. Soft hands and feet fit perfectly. Stand upside down. Hold up your whole body with your hands and stand upside down. The feet are doing all kinds of movements in the air. Opportunity at a speed invisible to the naked eye. There was a flip. It ends with 2 perfect one-word horses. This skill has to be amazing. In those days when there was not enough to eat, the seemingly effortless performance. How much hard training does it take to go through in private? The little girl is just a microcosm of that time. This is not a group of children here. Big and small. It also started their performance. It's all about making a living, child. So, adults are even more. Holding a stick and swinging under the sun of martial arts. There's all kinds of hardworking performances going back and forth. And it gets worse. It was the last male juggling troupe to appear. I saw a man lying on a wooden board. Stand on your hands. The man standing on his feet, above. A man rests his hand on the foot of the man below. Then stand upside down with your feet facing up and do a handstand. Just stand upside down on thin air and look dashing and handsome. Think about it. There are extremely high requirements for men's arm strength. Can reach such a level. These jugglers had to practice the basics from an early age. After 10 years of hard training, only then can they be eligible to perform on the streets, so that you don't go hungry. Think about it now. It's not a star. It's an internet celebrity, right? We are familiar with the street. Then you want to know the past. Guangzhou. What's up and down 9th Street like? This video was shot in 1936. Let's follow the camera. Let's take a look at Guangzhou during the Republic of China. The true appearance of Shangshaju Street. The first thing that came into view was a young couple. Walking down the street, the man wears a suit and looks particularly foreign. Woman in Changsung. It looks beautiful. This walking posture, they're all quite a bit of a lady, glancing at the camera from time to time. Also calm and composed. It feels like I've seen the big world. And out came a white-haired old man. A long coat with a long white beard, holding a pair of reading glasses. A bit more literati. I guess it was Mr. Private School at that time. He calmly glances at the camera from time to time, then came out. Just a little boy with his clothes scattered. It looks like I woke up early in the morning. I didn't have time to put on my clothes neatly. In a hurry to find work, the camera turns. The backs of several women caught our attention. There is such a trance. We almost thought it was downstairs. Some sleepy girls came out in their pajamas, on the way to buy breakfast in a hurry. Except for these seemingly lazy crowds, you can also see busy crowds everywhere. So this guy's pulling a load of stuff in a trailer, although I can't see what's in the car. But there are 2 strong guys pushing from the back of the trailer. So this car is not light. The van pulled people, pole picker, and these guys pulling 2 stone piers across the road. Looking at the situation, it looks like a store is about to open. Wait for these 2 stone piers to be pulled over. Put it at the door to pull business. Look carefully. There was also a foreigner among the last group to appear. How? Did you see this scene as you imagined?